Summer's winding down. The official end is in about 3 weeks. Then fall starts. Next weekend, I have 2 weddings. One in Reno that I'm a groomsman for, and one in Oakland that I'm just a spectator. This is it for me for summer. This will be my last trip. Pretty fortunate to live in an area where on a whim I can decide to go on a backpacking trip. The original plan for this weekend actually was to go bike packing, which is something I've never done. I bought a bike last year from Reno Bike Project, and I've never used it. For whatever reason, when I woke up today, I didn't feel like riding a bike. Just felt like walking. So I'm looking at a 20-mile out and back for the weekend. You know, some trips I want to camp, some trips I want to swim, some trips I want that relaxation. Today, I just really felt like putting some miles under my feet. So I was up here not too long ago with a group of hikers from the Goatlord Facebook page. And this little pond was full enough that the dogs all swam in it. Now it's gone. Another dried up spring. These are all flowing reasonably well last time I was out here. Bushes are taller than me. Off of the Loch Levin Lakes Trail onto Cherry Point Trail, heading towards the American River. It's pretty exciting to go to a place I have never been before. From everything I'd read, this creek was supposed to be a pretty reliable water source. I don't think this one's been very reliable for a long time. This part feels pretty rough. I had read that it wasn't a very popular section, wasn't used that often, but it's definitely living up to that reputation. A lot of old tree falls, a lot of overgrowth. Gorgeous though. Little pink trail marker. Last weekend I was walking along the Ruby Crest Trail. And the scenery was all new and different. This hike is more what I'm used to. I was basically born in the Sierras. This section of trail's not that easy to follow. There's a lot of cairns and little pink and orange ribbons. But if you didn't know what to look for, you could get lost pretty easily. bit nervous about water. I thought I was carrying plenty. I had 2 liters when I started. I haven't seen any since I left the Lakes Trail. Starting to think it would have been a good idea to have topped off at the lake. Cherry Point Trail just dropped me off like a fire road, 4x4 trail kind of road. We'll see how far I have to walk on this. So those are bear tracks. I'm still walking down this road and I'm still following bear tracks. I don't have any way of knowing when the bear came through here. Could have been 5 minutes ago. Could have been 5 days ago. The good news is there's only the one set, so I don't think I'll be running into a situation with babies. And hopefully I won't be running into any situation at all. That's the first water I've seen. Doesn't look very good. I still have a lot in my bladder, so I think I'm gonna push on and hope I see some more someplace else. But if I don't, I know this is here. So for the last probably half hour, I haven't seen any more bear tracks. So he or she must have ditched off the trail somewhere back a ways. Getting a little hungry, kind of holding off on stopping until I find a decent water source. If I don't find one here pretty quick, I'll probably just take a break, eat a Pro Bar, relax a little bit. After a slight detour, I have found the trail again. Still no water. I still have some, but definitely growing concerned about the water situation. I think this guy's probably looking for the same thing I am. All we found is a dry creek bed. And just like that, I have found a moving water source. I'm definitely going to re-up right now. So this is part of my new water system. It's the VersaFlow filter. This is my dirty bag. And then I use some old Camelback parts to make a tube that I can fill directly into my water bladder without taking it out of my backpack. My trial run right now, and it's working great. Really excited about this. Fantastic. All right, had a little snack, got some water. It's amazing how much better you feel once you found water. Once you know you have it and you don't have to worry about that for a little while. Cool little spider friend. He's probably about as big as a silver dollar. I don't want to touch him. It's a little after 10. My tent is up. My belly is full. My bear bag is hung. Today didn't go as planned. I think I was lulled into a false sense of security about it only being 10 miles. They were 10 brutal miles. From here, I made it to the American River. It's beautiful here. I did have to do a little bit of night hiking, but it wasn't too bad. A very wise woman once told me, not all miles are created equal. And today's miles were definitely in that category. That's right around 6 o'clock. My internal clock woke me up again. Struggling to get out of my sleeping bag a little bit this morning. Last night's miles were pretty long, and I have to do them all again today. Only up. Really beautiful country though. I'm excited to see some of the parts that I had to walk through at night, last night. Get some more pictures. It's time to get up and have breakfast. So this is the other part of my new water system I wanted to test out. Just kind of a do-it-yourself gravity system. This tube actually came with the filter. And then I have this little shut-off valve that I got from an old Camelback setup. So everything I'd read about this trail said it was one of the more difficult trails in the area. It's easily one of the most strenuous trails I personally have ever hiked. And that's kind of what I was looking for this weekend, was something that was going to kick my butt a little bit. And I got it. It's gorgeous out here though. There's a huge pool down below that would be a great swimming spot. I'm just deep into this canyon surrounded by trees. Pretty fantastic place to wake up. So it's just a little bit before 8 in the morning. I'm all packed up and ready to go. Yesterday it took me 6.5, almost 7 hours to get here. Now that was with losing the trail a couple times, trying to backtrack, a little bit of bushwhacking. So I'm hoping today I can make better time. My normal pace on a trail like this, it should be 5.5 hours tops. It's really hard to stay on this trail in parts. It's overgrown and there's not a lot of trail markers, but now I know the way. So hopefully I'll be back to the car much sooner than 7 hours from now. Seen a lot of bear poop on the trail. It's old, it's dried up, and most of the plants that would produce berries are dried up. So I'm hoping that they've moved on somewhere else. I'm trying to just be really cautious and aware, make as much noise as I can by myself. I think I'll be fine. But this is the most evidence of bear I've seen all season. Part of me wants to see one in the wild. I never have. I certainly don't want to run into one head first on this trail. It's pretty narrow. It's just a big cliff off to my left, so there's not a lot of place for either one of us to go if we bump into each other. This little section of trail reminds me a lot of hiking in Oregon. It's a pretty cool thing to find in California. Working my way up out of the second canyon. It's a pretty grueling climb. Worth it and fun, but definitely not something to attempt unless you're pretty fit and you've got a lot of backcountry experience. it to the part of the trail that I missed yesterday. I kind of bushwhacked up through all of this before finding the trail again. So today's already doing better than yesterday. About 10:15. Been walking a little over 2 hours. Found this nice little creek here. I'm gonna eat some food, filter some more water just in case. The hiking's been easier than I thought it was gonna be. Being on the actual trails helped a lot. It's all uphill. Everything's up. But I'm not bushwhacking up a hill. I'm not getting my legs scratched up a hill. So far, it's been a pretty good day. Really happy with this new filter setup. Think of all the different filters that I've had. This is by far my favorite. Pretty much where I made my mistake yesterday, that I carried on along this road because I did not see that little orange ribbon that marks the trail. And just like that, I'm off the road and back onto the Cherry Point Trail. So made it to Middle Loch Leven Lake, back in very familiar territory. I hang out here for a while, eat some food, drink a lot of water. Pretty tanked. This was a much tougher hike than I was anticipating, but it was exactly what I needed. So happy I did this, even with the missteps. The best I can figure, my little detour last night added about 2 miles, maybe an hour and a half to the trip. So had I managed to stay on the trail, I probably would have made it to camp with some daylight to spare, which would have been nice. But had I not night hiked, I probably wouldn't have seen that cool spider. Calling it a win.